Hello, welcome. This is a video about uh, a new document, guidance document produced by the Scottish Government, Transgender Guidance for Schools. It was released on, what was the date? It was last Thursday, the 12th of August. It was released. To great fanfare and celebration on social media. And it was picked up by the mainstream media and a few newspapers, basically some with quite alarmist headlines of 4-year-old pupils will be able to change their gender in school. They won't need to tell their parents, and it is. I mean, this kind of transgender ideology in the schools has been going around for quite a while, and a few. There's a guy, Richard Lucas from the Scottish Family Party. He has done a very thorough video on this document, outlining some of its problems, so to speak. So I'm not going to talk about the document as such, and other than the idea that this guidance is a kind of cultural Marxist postmodern transgender ideology getting into schools, separating the parent from the child. The state becomes more the influence, uh, indoctrinating the very young children. You know, in the idea of changing sex, changing gender, and how that is a kind of life aspirational thing. Of course, a 4-year-old child is really in no position to be exposed to that deliberately to provoke something. It's very confusing to a child to do that. I would say it's abuse to do that to a child. And but this idea of the not telling parents is very worrying. It's very worrying, you know. And so I noticed the document on Twitter, and I downloaded it very early on Friday morning. Well, fairly, about 11:15 in the morning, and it's a 70-page document. So I read the whole thing, and it has all the things that the Richard Lucas of the Scottish Family Party discusses. A lot of these difficulties, which you can follow up on his video. Uh, the but the thing that got me, this no one's discussed this at all. No one's picked it up. I'm not accusing them of not being thorough enough. There's reasons why maybe it wasn't picked up, which I'll go into detail in a minute. But at the very end of the document, there was like on page, I forgot, it's down below. I'll give you the link below. It was additional resources, list of books for primary schools. And of course, this is the document that I downloaded at 11:15 Friday morning, the 13th, Friday the 13th. Auspicious date. There was a book called Beyond Magenta. Now, Google Beyond Magenta, you'll soon find out why it's a problem. Because in the book there's a story, a chapter, which depicts a 6-year-old boy giving oral sex to old men. Yeah. I mean, what more can be said? So my issue is people like Stonewall Scotland, Shirley Ann Somerville, who's the education person at the Scottish Government, the Parent Forum of Scotland, LGBT Youth Scotland, the Thai Campaign, people like that. They all had input into this document, to bring it together. And on social media, a lot of these groups were essentially celebrating it. They were welcoming this document, this new guidance. So here's the question, and these were tweets on Thursday, Friday, before I downloaded the document. So the question is, did these groups like LGBT Youth Scotland, or specifically the one I remember is what was it? Stonewall Scotland, and in the Parent Teacher Forum, the Parent Forum of Scotland, I can't remember the proper name. Did they actually read the document to welcome it and celebrate it? Did they read the guidance? Because if they'd read the guidance, they'd have seen that Beyond Magenta would have been on the document. Now, a lot of these organisations, it's all just kind of flim flam and signing things off and clapping and celebrating things. So a lot of these people probably don't read. I don't know if they read it or not. What was even more worrying was Shirley-Ann Somerville also signed it off, and the Scottish Government on social media, and celebrated it and welcomed it. Did they read it? Did they read it? The mind boggles. The mind boggles. So I'll give you. I think I'll have some screenshots there to show you the list of organisations that contributed to it. So it calls into question these organisations' credibility. Did they actually read the document? Did they see this book Beyond Magenta, which depicts paedophilic sex or abuse? Let's call it by its proper name. And so it's very strange, isn't it? It's very strange. But further digging, LGBT Youth Scotland, on their website, and the LGBT Youth Scotland were consulted for this document for transgender things in school. On their website, like on a kind of resource kind of page for people, Beyond Magenta is there. Last I looked. But there's a twist in this tale. The document I downloaded on Friday morning, because it was released on Thursday, the 12th of August, and I downloaded it on Friday the 13th at quarter to 11. In the evening, a few hours later, I wanted to show it to someone, and instead of going to the document on the computer, I don't know, I think maybe I was on my phone, I can't remember, I just went to the government website to download it again, and I got a second copy, and I went down to the additional resources for primary schools. Beyond Magenta had disappeared. Very interesting, very strange. Who had noticed it? Who had pointed it out? So the mystery of missing Beyond Magenta is still out there. Who amended the document? Someone must have amended it. Someone must have taken it out. Someone must have got in touch with the Scottish Government. Who put it in? Who suggested it to put it in the document in the first place? There's something sick going on in the Scottish Government, in their desire to queer Scottish schools, queering the classroom in the jargon of the wokery. there's people there, obviously movers and shakers, who managed to get this book on the list, and suddenly they've realised it's a little bit too dicey to put that there, and they're taking it out. So the questions need answered. Who put it in? Who took it out? Who pointed it out? It was there. And these organisations that all signed this document off, did they read the document? And if they didn't read the document, why not? Why are they endorsing in the document if they haven't read it? It calls into question the credibility of the whole structure of these ideas that are going around Scottish schools. Something ill going on, and I wonder if we'll ever get to the bottom of it. I don't know if I've mentioned, but I've written an article about this document. It's in the pipeline with some place that I'm trying to get it published with. I haven't heard for the last few days. Maybe it's too hot to handle, this sort of stuff. But if it doesn't get published, you know, maybe I could try somewhere else, or I can put it up on my own website. But we'll see. We'll see. But it's certainly a conundrum. So check it out. Check out the document. Check out the video by Richard Lucas, the Scottish Family Party. Very interesting. Okie doke. Take care. Bye bye.